Hello, everybody. This is Wishful Thinking. Good afternoon. If I am not perky, yeah, just nervy at the moment. Uh, yeah, just very nervy. As you know, we just had an election. You know, Kamala Trump. Congratulations to Trump. I will say that. And Vance, JD Vance. I'm the bigger person. I will say that they won fair and square. But, now I'm just trying to think what is my year, next year, and the next 4 years is going to be like. And I'm sure everybody is taking that same stance, nervous, scared. We don't know what's going to happen. So we just wait on bated breath and hope to God that, we come out with a democracy and we're not, an autocracy and we're not freaked out on what's going on in the world because I don't know. I just don't know. What I do know is that we just need to take a breath. We all need to take a collective breath. Hydrate yourself, go take walks, talk to people, get outside, find hobbies, do something, but don't disengage from the world because it's not going to help us. It's not. And, somebody made a good point. Get involved with your local democracy here. Go know who your city council person is, your representatives are, your governor, your mayor. I live in Philadelphia, so I know my my um my mayor is Sherelle Parker. I know that my city council person is Young and Sharif, and that right now is up to Bob Casey or McCormick, one of the two. We still don't know. My governor is Shapiro, so I know who my council members are. Also, go to these meetings. Stay active. Don't be afraid to stay active and use your voice. Just because just because the election is over don't mean that you have to stop speaking. If you see something that you don't feel is right, speak on it. You have that right to speak on it. You don't have to yell or scream in people's face, and sometimes you have to agree to disagree, but you don't have to be ignorant about it. But it's very scary right now. Scary times. For some of us, it's scary times. For me, it's a scary time. I'm a woman. If, God forbid, I get sexually assaulted or unplanned pregnancy or something happens where I need some kind of protection for my body, that might not be there for me. The education that I get, I might not have that anymore. I'm scared that, a cop now can probably stop and frisk me or do whatever the hell he wants to me, and there is no consequences for his actions. And if no one knows, I'm African American. So, yeah, my shade of color, yeah, we tend to be the ones that kind of get the short stick of the totem pole. So, yeah, it's kind of frightful. But we have to take a collective breath. And I decided I can sit here and mope and mourn and say this is freaking unbelievable, or I can use my voice and speak. And I choose to use my voice and speak. So every day between this time, I will come on and speak. And I give you this this platform where I am at to come and say what you want to say, whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether you're independent, whether you voted for him or not. Only thing I ask is please no, racial slurs at each other, no homophobic slurs. Let's be civil about it. You don't have to be uncivil to make your points clear. Okay, I understand. And let's try to, be civil on it. Understand that people are hurting. For some, they are fearful. For you, it might not be fearful, but for some of us, it might be fearful. We got to learn to look at each other's eyes. We have to learn to listen to each other and talk talk to each other, not at each other. It goes for everything that we do, even these YouTube streets. Everybody's talking at each other and not to each other. And this is why we're having so much commotion on YouTube. If we can actually sit down and listen to each other, agree to disagree, we should all agree that, we want best for our families, our friends, and the world around us. When it comes to YouTube, we should all agree that, our families are our families. The there is a saying off of the movie Enough. It says you have the divine right to protect the life of yours and your offspring. You have the divine right to protect the life of yours and your offspring, whether it's your mental offspring, whether it's your physical offspring, or your actual offspring, your children. And it shouldn't be a given that children and families and people's offspring should not be used as pawns in anybody's civil discourse. I'm just saying, that's weird. Don't do that. Looking into people's personal lives, that's freaking weird. Don't do that. That's just freaking wrong. It's wrong. I don't care who did it, why they did it. It's wrong. It's wrong. That's somebody's family. They had nothing to do with your situation. Why are you fucking with their family? It's just wrong. Don't do that. It's weird. That's predatory behavior. Yeah, that means territorial. It can be predator can also mean territorial. It doesn't always have to be sexual. I'm a writer. I love writing. So words are very powerful for me. I love using words. It's a thing that we use when we're writing. So yeah, I tend to learn words very, 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 very cautiously. Because words have power and power has words. And we should learn to use our words. But going after people's families, doxing each other, looking up people's families, posting people's families, posting people's pictures, personal pictures and stuff, that is just horrible and very disgusting. Okay, I mean, if you got a beef with me, yo, take it up with me. Don't fuck with my family, man. That's just weird. That's I'm sorry. That's weird. It's just freaking weird. And I'm the one that you will see that posts that, leave families and children and personal grievances out of this. You freaking weirdos. Yeah, I am the one that will post that because that's freaking weird. It's disgusting. And you got so many weird things going on out here. You got predators out here, and I do mean those kind of predators that are out here that will prey on that. So yeah, and if you do have pictures, be careful of what you post online, because what you post online can stay online. I don't care what it is, what you post online will stay online. You might think it might not be online, but it's in the atmosphere, on the online atmosphere for all to see. So yeah, you might not want to post that, weird picture on the maybe a mole on your ass or stuff like that. When you do stuff like that, do know that you can come back around to bite you in the ass, literally. You know, but posting each other's personal stuff for vendetta or to try to get a spite of somebody, that's just disgusting. We are grown ass adults. This is a place for 18 and up. I from on being on this thing has been for 8 children right now. I see grown ass people acting like kids. Nobody is perfect. That's another thing. Everybody has their baggages. Everybody has their dirt. Nobody's innocent. Nobody. Everybody's guilty. Nobody's innocent. Everybody's guilty. Why am I saying this again? I feel like a broken record. I said this before. Everybody has their dirt. Everybody has their baggages. Some are better to cover it than others, but everybody has their dirt and baggages. Instead of tearing each other down, we should try to be lifting each other up. But no, we're going to sit there and tear at each other until you know what's going to happen. All of these subs that are on here that are, you got sub to you, whether you're a big channel or small channel, it's going to make them feel really, really isolated. And they're going to stop coming on here. And then guess what? You have nobody to blame but yourselves. It don't make no sense. Everybody is grown ass adults. Y'all can sit there and talk. You need to sit down and stop talking at each other and talk to each other. Talk to each other. It's just like this climate right now. Everybody's talking at each other instead of to each other. And I mean, we need to take a collective breath, okay? And if you are getting that stressed out and you are freaking doing dumb things on here and doing dumb things and showing off shit and doing and feeling like you are like this is the only way, yeah, you need to log the fuck off. You need to literally log the fuck off. Because if you're on here doing dumb shit and think that people are not supposed to be able to speak, then yeah, you got another thing coming. And to these people who feel that because people say something that they don't like, they can go and bring up lawsuits or defamation things, that shit do backfire. Because when you really need that shit, guess what? It's not going to be there because you abused it. Everybody has the right to speak. It is free speech, the First Amendment. But that don't mean that there is no consequences for your speech. It has a thing that says here that there's a copyright law here that people are able to commentary for school, education, work by the copyright law. So why are you suing each other because they are saying something you don't like? Please make me understand this. Do you think that's going to make somebody shut up? Because that don't really usually happen. that usually can backfire on you. The ones that usually, you try to throw fire on, it usually spreads the fire even more. Which means the ones that you try to shut up is the ones that are, the ones that speak out even louder. You really need to think before you do stuff. If people are calling you out for the shit you're doing, then there is something you're doing that somebody is really kind of not liking. It is one thing to help somebody, whether it's, bringing awareness, whether it's commentary, whether it's speaking about your mind. But it's another thing to harass, bully, stalk. That is not helping people. Actually, that's more harm than help. It's dumb. I have no problem saying it's dumb. It's really, really dumb. I don't know why you think that it's going to actually help you to do shit like that, but it's not. And everything that is silver or gold does not mean it's that. Sometimes that silver and gold that people will hand you could be actually shit. My parents always taught me that just because your friend do something don't mean you have to go do it. Just because, somebody tell you, well, you know what, this is going to help you out, don't mean it's always going to help you out. That shit can actually backfire on your ass. And I hope you are ready for the repercussions. For every action, there's an equal reaction. Sir Isaac Newton says that. But of course, as a civil discourse in the damn YouTube sphere, everybody's at each other's neck like, what the fuck? As I turn around to go through YouTube, it's like a what the fuck situation. People getting sued over dumb things. People making defamation suits over dumb things. That is the dumbest thing I can actually ever see. And you know what? It's fucked up because when people really need the system is not going to be there for them. Because people like that who sit there and use the system for their own gain. Because their fee-fees has gotten hurt. And that's exactly what it is. People's fee-fees has gotten hurt. It's just like this stuff with the people of doxing and showing off shit. People's fee-fees gotten hurt. We are grown ass people, man. We are grown motherfucking people. Why the fuck are we over here doing dumb shit? And just because I'm with somebody or I see somebody doing something, don't mean that I'm doing it with them. That's another thing. We group people in a whole category because one person is doing that. That's fucking wrong. Just because one person is doing something, don't mean that everybody's doing that. We are all grown ass people. And people, if you want to go to other chats, you should be able to go to chats freely. Okay? Unless they have your last name or your mama or your daddy, which I'm sure they're not, you should not be afraid to go and speak mindfully in the chat. Or go and sit in the chat and be there without fear. Because if you have to sit in a chat room and be fearful of it, then that is not a chat room you might want to be in. I'm just saying. I'm not telling you where to go. But if you have to feel fearful that, if I am in this chat room that somebody might say something to me or do something to me, yeah, that's a problem. And to those who are doing that, yeah, that can fucking backfire on you too. Because guess what? That's going to make people uncomfortable. And guess what? People will start making stands and start walking out. See, YouTube has a thing. You have subs and creators. You got some that are creators and subs. The creators need the subs, and the subs go to different creators. That is what YouTube is. You have different styles of chats. You have panels. You have, commentary. You have education. You have sports. You have music. You have arts. You have all of these different kind of things. So why the hell are we all bickering about one realm? There is a whole YouTube. We are a small part of YouTube compared to the universe of YouTube. There are so many different chats and places that we can go. So why? Why are we bickering like we are little children? If you act like children, you are going to be treated like children. Again, as adults, we should put away our childish ways. Why are we bringing up shit from 3, 4 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago? Man, live for today. You are only blessed to live for a day. God only gives us a day. Sometimes. If you are lucky to live for another day, that is a blessing. And you bickering about shit is just wrong. There are people out here who are dead right now because they did not get to see today. Here today, gone today. So if you are able to live for today, live for it. Stop worrying about what happened 3 years ago. Stop living off the past, people. Live for today. Because that's the only thing I can do is live for today. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, not the other days before, just today. Just like this thing with Trump and Kamala. He won. We all are sitting there saying, what the fuck? Okay, he has won. I'm not going to say get over it because that's not something you just tell somebody. These are people's lives that literally is in balance. But we have to figure out how we move on as a community, as a world, without being down each other's throats. We have to learn to talk to each other, not at each other, to each other. Be respectful to each other. It seems like respect is gone in this world sometimes. We have to learn to talk to each other. Give each other, listen, if you just sit down and talk to the person, okay, I understand your point of view. It was wrong of me for maybe I did something that maybe you did not agree with. I will step back and I will look at what I have done wrong. But, sitting there, doxing each other, showing each other's children, posting each other's addresses, and doing all kinds of shit like that, giving lawsuits. What the hell, man? Because your fifis are hurt. That's just wrong. And nobody is responsible for your action but you yourself. If you do something, that's your action. You can't blame it on nobody else but yourself. Nobody put a gun to your head. Nobody told you to just do that. That was you. Take responsibility for your action. I can't say for my wife's action. I can only speak for my action. If I wrong somebody on this YouTube streets, I will take my time now to say I am very sorry. But I am very, very, very sorry. And I will try in my assessment to try to do better. But also my words is also go with my actions. So now I have to act on what I just said. I have to act on what I just said. And to those who feel that, point the finger, hide the hands. Don't do that. Nobody's innocent, everybody's guilty. You have your dirt, they have their dirt. Instead of going around spreading fire off of fire, find a way to dissolve the situation. Because the only thing you're doing is making a bigger mess. There are so many things out here that is going on in people's world and people's lives, and you don't know what they're going through. And if something happens, you're going to be sitting there saying, shoulda, coulda, woulda. And no, I am not putting this on anybody. What I am saying is that for every action, there's an equal reaction. And you don't know what people are going through. You don't know if that person you're bullying or picking at is going through something. And your words or your action could be that one thing that can actually harm them better than help them. We all have a divine right to live and to want better for our lives. But we also should want to, make better in the lives around us and the things that we do. I want things to be better in the life that I live. I want my friends to be friends. And I know YouTube is not. People are not my friends, always my friends. But like they said, there are people who are shut in, who can't go out, and they see YouTube as a way to get away from things. There are people who that is their only way of making friends at the moment because they can't go to other places. Maybe due to illnesses, maybe due to finances, it could be anything. And that voice on the other line is that voice that gets them through their day. But we have to be seriously open that we need to start talking to each other instead of yelling at each other and fighting with each other. Because, gone today, here today. I love being on YouTube. I love different creators. I love different creators because of their styles. No two creators are alike. I love all the creators that I've gone to. And I'm a person that I am eclectic, which means I like all styles of YouTube. Sometimes I look at political. Sometimes I'm in commentary. Sometimes I like to look at, stars and music. Sometimes I'm looking at foreign. You know, I look at all kinds of stuff. Sometimes I look at crime. Sometimes I look at karma. But I know that every style is different. That everybody has a different style of of places, and no two places alike. But that does not make me an enemy because I like to go to other chats. I love going into nonsenses. I love going into Queen Bees. I like Amax. I like sometimes I like going into Jonesins. I listen to hers. I listen to Savage. I have listened to all kinds of. I've listened to who was her name? Nunya. I've listened to Sinner. I've listened to Deets. I've listened to Forgotten Whispers. I've listened to Firefly in the Sky. I've listened to, I've listened to Paranormal Ghost. I've listened to all kinds of different people. I am eclectic. I go to all kinds of chats because I just like listening to different points of views. I don't sit and listen to one point of view. I go and listen to different things. I might not say nothing in your chats, but I do look and I do listen. I listen to all different kinds of places. I love listening to other places. I'm just eclectic like that. But what you're not going to do is make me feel guilty for going to these different places. That is not going to happen. I am a very stubborn chick. And usually when people usually say don't for me, that makes me say do. I even gone into Bullhorn Becky's. I've gone into uh what's his name? The guy who makes you go to fall asleep. What is that guy? Justin. I've gone into Silver on the Seas. I've gone into Brittany J's. Wow. I've gone to what was her name? Shanny Price. I've been into many different chats. I mean I go to different chats just to listen. There's no chats I haven't gone into and just not listened. I've done it. I mean, I've listened. I remember when B Tim and the other girl were doing their chat. I went in there and listened to them. I listened to Beta. I've listened to Laura Perplex. I've listened to Makeup Mobster. I've listened to many people. Crime and Fashion. uh God Bless the Dead, Heels in the Air. I've listened to many different places because I'm eclectic. I like going into different chats. But what I don't like is if somebody tells me, well, because you go in this chat, you can't come in my chat. That I don't like because then I'm not going to go in your chat and then I'm not going to give you my business. And where we put our money and where we lie our money should be our business and our business only. If they're giving money to that chat or that creator, apparently they might like the person that they're listening to. It's just like a musician. If a person is buying their music and, getting their t shirts and their merch, it means that they like that person a lot and they look something about their character or their channels or their music that they like, just putting it out there. So apparently if they putting money to this channel or giving it to these different channels, apparently they like what they hear. And if we're going to say we're going to help people, we need to help all people. I don't care who they are. And just exploiting people's families and children for our gains, it's just wrong, man. That's weird as well. Freaking stop, man. These people are going through the unimaginable. Some of them lost their children. Some of them children are missing. That is very scary. Put yourself in their shoe for a minute. That mom or that dad, that grandparent, that mom who, has to now wonder, is their baby okay? Is their baby alive? Is their baby safe? Is somebody hurting their baby? Because me, I will freak. I'm not going to even lie. I will freak out. But, everybody deals with situations differently. I freak out. I know I'm a kid that I used to run away when I was a kid. I was a runaway. I would, when as something gets bad for me, I would run away. That is one of my goals that I actually fulfilled, that I don't run anymore. I try to stand and stay and try to work out whatever is going on. But I used to run, and I'm sure my parents and my foster parents used to freak out because they didn't know where I was at, and it's scary. And then you get that call for those who lost a child, whatever means that it happened, that call where your child is not coming back. That's horrible. I'm sure those parents who get that call that, you got your child is not coming back, you have to go identify your child, or you have to bury your child instead of your child burying you. That must be the most heartbreaking thing to hear, whether they're grown or a child. That is hard to even imagine. I feel for any parent who will ever have to go through that, whether it's from, self checkout to, murmurs or accident, whatever. It is the most hardest thing. I'm going to share you something. When my brother passed away, I had a older brother. My older brother had passed away. I'm sure my mom and my aunt was freaked out. I'm sure my mom was very distraught and still is to this day. That her son, her oldest, her firstborn, is not going to come back. That's harsh, and I can only imagine. And then we had another person in my family that, unfortunately unalived themselves. If you are feeling that way, please call the National Suicide Hotline at 988. You are not alone, sweetheart. You are not alone. It is 24/7. It's 7 days a week. There are trained people that will sit there and talk to you. You are not alone. Because I know, it could feel like everything is closing in, but you're not alone. You're not. You're not. You're not alone. I know you are loved. And you are, that you are loved, that you are special. And if no one tells you that you are loved, I will tell you, you are loved. And that is the unique thing about it. When a parent gets that call or has to go and identify, or, have to pick out caskets and burial plots and, duties, the memorial papers and stuff, that's hard. That's really, 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 really hard. That is the most hardest thing. And then you have people who exploit that, who take advantage of that parent's pain and anguish, and use it for their own gain. It's wrong. I have no problem saying it. It's wrong. To exploit somebody's child for your own benefit is wrong. Now, if you want to put awareness to it or call out something, I'm all for that. But to exploit them, that's just wrong. And that's sad because this is this person's most devastating time in their lives. Rest in peace to all these babies out here who have passed away, who has been unalived and all kinds of stuff like that. Cause it's harsh. And my heart goes out to all these parents who, whose child is going through something. That is harsh. That's your baby. Carrying them for 9 months in your stomach, feeling every kick, every hiccup, every move, every wave. That's a harsh thing to push this child into the world or even have to get cut open to get this child out so that this baby may live. And your life might be the one thing that ends for this child's life. That's harsh. And that's sad that people exploit that. And yo, to those people who make fun of people who are bigger, who might, you don't know what they're going through. I remember my sister got the shit slapped out of her by my grandmother for that shit. There was a guy who had a mark on his face. Don't do that. I'm gonna mark myself. There was a guy who had a mark on his face and was in a wheelchair, and we were kids. My sister was down there making fun of the guy. My grandmother came to tell us to go and have. It was time for dinner and saw this. My grandmother went right up to her and smacked the living daylights out of her, and it served her right because you don't know why that guy has that mark or why he's in that wheelchair. Just like you don't know why that person might be big. Making fun of people because pushing down on people because you think it gets a rise out of you. Nah, man, you don't look no good. And respect is earned, not given. Whether you are a civilian or if you're in the military. You know, whether you're in the military or you're civilian. That does not give you the right to be an asshole and think that you have to get respect. No. I thank you for your service, but my respect is earned, not given. I thank you for your service, for doing what you did, because that is the most honorable sacrifice you can do. But you're not going to sit there and think that you're going to say things to me or do things to me and think that I'm supposed to give you my respect because you do that. No, 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 no. It does not work that way. Respect is earned, not given. Just like making fun of somebody because of how they talk or how they look or because what they believe in or what they see or who they hang out with, that ain't cool. You might think you're looking cool and you think it's sweet and funny, but it's not. You look like more of the ass than the person that you're making fun of. I'm being honest. You're more looking like the ass. You might think that you're not looking like the ass, but you are. You are looking like the more of the ass than anyone else. And if you think that, hee hee ha ha, that's so funny. Look at that person. You don't know why they're big. Some people are big boned. That man that was in the wheelchair that had a scar on his face, You know why he had that scar on his face and why he was in the wheelchair? Because he was in the military and he lost his leg during the military war. He was in Vietnam and he lost his leg. And he was saving his platoon and he got burnt in his face. That is why he had the scar on his face. Walk a mile in my shoes, see what I see. But people don't want to do that. Everybody want to say the other, or this one is this way, this one is that way. And just because somebody thinks differently does that make them enemies. They just have different point of views than you do. People, what I am saying is this. We need to be more mindful to each other and respectful to each other, whether in YouTube or out on the streets. We don't have that anymore. Our kids, man, these kids out here today, they will tell you anything. I heard a little boy tell his mom, F you. Yeah, let me try that when I was a kid. I will get my teeth slapped right onto the floor. I'm from the old school where they say kids are to be seen, not heard. Yeah, I'm from that kind of school. The school of hard knocks. When them lights come on at nighttime, I'm in, to be in the house. When they had that little poster, they say it's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kids are? Yeah, I better be in the house in my bed because my parents wasn't playing that. But we're in a new generation. But we need to be more involved with things. That's what I mean when I say stop disengaging. Just because something happens, stop disengaging. Make your voice heard. I'm making my voice heard. If I don't like something, I'm going to speak from now on. That is one thing God gave me, the voice to speak. And for every word that I speak, I stand on it with my 10 toes, my 10 fingers, and everything else from it. And my chest sticked out saying, yes, I said it. Wistful thinking said it. And everything that you hear is always not true. Okay? We also need to learn to fact check shit. People, not everything that you hear is true. Fact check. As a person that does political, I am a person that believes in fact checking. When people say receipts, yeah, I'm with the receipt thing. But fact checks these receipts because sometimes it's not always what it seems. As we learned, not everything is what you see. And what is actually there is not what you think it is. I am a person that truly believe in fact checking and believe that, we should be able to, if you did something, yeah, you should hold me to that. If I say something that is disrespectful to somebody, yeah, please hold me to that fire. I will tell you, hold me to that fire. If I say something that is disrespectful to somebody, I want you to say, yo, Wistful, we need to talk. But that does not mean you come out here and, start disrespecting either. That don't mean you come out here and start airing out my dirty laundry and my personal lifestyle because you got a grievance. You want me, come to me and talk to me. Not at me, talk to me. Me and you can talk. If you can talk, then you and I can talk. But you sitting there, talking at me or talking down at me is not going to happen. And we should not be afraid of talking. I don't care who you are. Because they usually say the bigger you are, the harder you fall. And for every bully out there and everyone that thinks they're bigger, there's always someone bigger than you out there. There's always somebody out there that's a little bit bigger than you that will be very happy to bring you back to size. And see, like I said, I've seen more in my 47th year than I would see in my lifetime. So I tend now not to be afraid. Because as it was said, fear is in fear itself. I need not to be afraid. I speak up because I feel that I can use my voice to speak out. If I don't like something, I speak out. And what I'm seeing, I don't like. I don't like seeing people arguing and fighting and bickering and doxing each other and showing people's personal lives, man. That's fucking weird. Don't do that. That's being a fucking weirdo. That's predatory behavior. I don't care if you get mad or not. That's predatory behavior. You sitting there showing people's personal lives and going on people's personal shit and showing out people's personal shit. Yeah, that's freaking predatory shit. That's freaking weird and really disgusting. I don't care if it's a black thing or a white thing, whether you're a bee or a savage, whatever. That's just wrong. That's just weird. Don't do that. That's disgusting. That's gross. You should not be showing people's children or their personal lives or they're going on their pages and taking pictures off of their pages. That's weird. Get a hobby, man. Get a hobby. And if you're doing it, you're a creep. You're a creep. You're really creepy and needs to be stopped. That's disgusting. Just because shit don't go your way, don't need to be doing shit like that. There are other ways you can conversate with each other without doing shit like that. Showing people's fucking personal lives is fucking disgusting. It's weird. It's gross. It's really gross and disgusting. And those who are doing these things of, like I said, these defamations and lawsuits and stuff, yeah, that shit will backfire on your ass if you ain't careful. Because you know what? The system is going to one day catch on to that shit, and that shit might blow up in your damn face. And the other thing is, at first you're sitting there saying, well, I'm for you, here, let me help you out. And then as soon as you get pissed off, oh, that's a hoax. Oh, that's a scam. But you were at my back before saying, yo, I got your back. Which one is it? You can't be a two-sided coin, man. That's just wrong. Either you're for it or you're against. You can't be against it for it the first time and then against it the next time. It's just weird. If you got my back, you got my back. If you don't, you don't. Keep it moving. Stop worrying about what I have in my pocket and worry about what you got in yours. Live for your life, not my life. Worry about what you're doing, not what I'm doing. If I'm doing something, yeah, call me out for it. But stop worried about what I'm doing. If you have to sit there and every move I make, you're sitting there saying something about what I'm doing, yeah, that means you need some kind of help. Because that means that you're obsessed with what I'm doing and not with your own life. And what is it in my life that you find so fascinating that you have to be all up in it? I'm with Tim Waltz when he say, "Mind your own business. If I ain't hurting you, then you should not be worried about what I'm doing." I'm gonna go and probably take a walk, probably go outside, do something, cause it's hot. It's like 80 degrees out here. It's really hot out here. I'm guessing we having a long Indian summer, and hopefully on Saturday we might get rain. We have been right now 41 days without rain, so hopefully we'll get some kind of rain. But right now it's freaking hot, extremely hot. So I'm gonna leave you with this: do not go quietly in the night, or don't go quietly in the night or gently in the night. Man, go out screaming. It is not over. Life is not over just because something happens. Brush yourself off and move on. Speak up, speak out, be loud, be you. If no one tells you that you are loved, I will tell you I love you. I love you all. Be kind to each other because today you might see them, tomorrow you might not. And you don't know what that person's life is about or what's going on in their lives. Walk a mile in my shoe, see what I see. Stop yelling at each other, start talking to each other. Not at each other, to each other. Find common ground. I'm sure there is a common ground. Don't listen to all that chaos. Sometimes step away. If you feel that this is too overwhelming for you, shut this shit off. It is as easy as turning off the button and saying, you know what, not today. Breathe. Find hobbies, whether it's painting, yoga, meditation. Call a friend. Call up that friend you never talked to in a long time and talk to them. If you have a YouTube and you have a feeling about something, go on there. You can be respectful and speak your mind. Stop doxing and going on people's personal pages, man. That's just freaking weirdos. Stop. Freaking weirdos? That's freaking weird and dumb. What the hell? Why gotta be weirdos? Why? No. Don't need to be weirdos. Be you. Don't be afraid to go where you want to go. Be everywhere you want to be. Know there is a light at the end of the tunnel. That when darkness comes, there's always light at the end of the day. And the next day, there's always light. There's a song that I love. It's from the movie and play The Lion King, and it says, "I know that the night must end," and it's called "Endless Night," and it goes, "I know that the night must end, and that the sun will shine, and that the sun will shine. I know that the clouds will clear, and that what is it? I know that the night must end. I know that the sun will shine, and that the clouds must clear, and that the sun will shine." For every time there is darkness, there's always light. Find your northern star and follow it. Don't follow everybody else's star. Follow your own star. Be you. Don't be afraid to be you. Laugh and live. And remember, here today, gone today. This is wishful thinking saying have a blessed, happy, and gorgeous day. And don't forget, be kind to each other. Peace. I try to turn my thing off. Sorry, guys.